In 1939, as the world teetered on the brink of immense conflict, India, then under British colonial rule, found itself thrust into the throes of the Second World War. The role India played in this monumental, global event is often overlooked, yet it was both vast and complex, deeply influencing the course of the war, and altering the trajectory of India's own quest for independence. As the war erupted with Germany's invasion of Poland, British India was declared a participant in the war by Viceroy Lord Linlithgow, without consulting Indian leaders. This unilateral decision was met with outrage by Indian political leaders who were demanding self-rule and independence. However, despite this political friction, India's involvement in the war grew rapidly and significantly, becoming one of the largest contributing nations to the Allied efforts. The Indian Army, which was merely a force of around 200,000 personnel in 1939, expanded to become one of the largest volunteer armies in history by the end of the war. Over 2.5 million Indian soldiers and officers served in various theaters of. Particularly notable was their contribution to the Burma campaign, where they helped stem the tide of the Japanese advance, ensuring a major strategic victory for the Allies. Moreover, India was not only a significant military contributor, but also served as a vital industrial and supply base for the Allies. The subcontinent's industries were rapidly expanded to support the war effort, producing everything from textiles and steel to foodstuffs and medical supplies. Indian factories churned out essential goods vital to sustaining Allied troops across multiple front lines. Additionally, the Indian Ocean became a critical shipping lane for the Allies, underscoring India's strategic geographical importance. On the home front, the war had far-reaching social and economic consequences for India. The British war effort was heavily financed by Indian resources, which placed a tremendous economic burden on the country. Inflation soared, and shortages of essential goods burdened the civilian population. This economic strain, coupled with growing unrest and demands for independence, fueled the Indian national movement. One of the pivotal moments accentuating India's struggle for independence during the war was the Quit India movement launched by Mahatma Gandhi in 1942. Although the movement was suppressed by the British colonial government, it marked a significant point in the fight for Indian self-rule, as nationalist leaders demanded an end to British rule in India as a price for their continued support in the war effort. Even as 1945 brought an end to the devastating conflict, the impact of the war on India was far from over. The vast contributions and sacrifices made by Indian soldiers had sparked a wave of nationalist sentiment back home. The promise of post-war independence became a focal point of political movements across the country. Indeed, the experience and sacrifices during the war intensified India's resolve for sovereignty, culminating in independence from British rule in 1947. In sum, India's role in the Second World War was both immense and multifaceted. From providing vital military manpower and resources to serving as an industrial backbone for the Allied forces, India was crucial in shaping the outcome of the war. Yet the war also sowed the seeds for India's eventual independence, as it highlighted the contradictions of colonial rule and galvanized the fight for self-determination. As we reflect on the legacy of World War II, it's clear that India's contributions were indispensable, leaving an indelible mark on history and paving the way for its emergence as a sovereign nation. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of India's profound role in the Second World War. If you found these insights captivating, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating historical narratives and analyses.